Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for the 20th of July. And starting today, I want to start and have a look at BHP in the US. So this is on the New York desk here for BHP, and we'll have a look at Australia, we'll look at FMG, we'll look at Rio, and then we'll look at the ASX. And what I want to do is I just really want to compare them basically and their wave counts and how that fits with the ASX, because the ASX obviously is being pulled by the banks and pulled by the resources, but at the end of the day it's kind of being pulled by the resources. So that's what we need to take a look at. So I just want to compare them and just leave you with a few thoughts really. So with New York here, to me it's quite clear here that we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for 1 and 2 here, then up for 1 and back for 2, then 1 and 2, nice strong third of a third where the gap should occur. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here for the third, the fourth wave here, and then going up for the fifth wave. We've already made new highs here. BHP in Australia is just probably a tad lower than that. And this also develops a nice classic trading levels pattern sitting on this level here where we have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the ABC correction, and then the next leg up for wave 5 there of so and so. So that's what it looks there. And with BHP in Australia, it's much the same as well. So we have in this instance here, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, an A and a B and a C pulling back here. I've just pulled this apart here. We can look at this as wave 1 here, and well, it fits better as wave 1. Wave 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave. This little fourth wave in here is a little bit like this guy here really. So this one here's just got a little bit more to go in here. So yeah, probably a couple of days at least to go in here, and then we reach the top of the third wave, then we pull back for the fourth, and then the fifth to the upside here for that. I mean, we could look at it as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave ending here, so we'll just need to be a little bit mindful of that. Okay, so you'd want to be taking profits sort of earlier than later in this one, but we should still see a couple of days, should still see a good few days at the beginning of this week to push up into this particular space here. The other one that I want to bring across now is take a good look at this this structure here, and then we can have a look at FMG. So FMG is much the same as well. So we've got, it's got its own little personality here, but wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for 1 and 2 here. It's quite clear, and then the third wave's really clear as well, as you can see here in 5 waves here for this, and wave 4 pulling back into this space, wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and then moving up through here as well. As I may have mentioned the other day, I think we did talk about this. If you're trading up here, we're looking for a target of 1650, because 1650 is a medium level here. Yes, it can go higher, but this is where the correction will play out through here. But the takeaway here is that 1 and 2 here, nice strong third wave here. We'll look for a fourth wave and then a fifth wave here. So in this case, in all of these, we can look to, in terms of share trading, by this wave 4 back into this space here. So this will also present, once we've got this in play here, this will also be wave 1 up here, and then an ABC back here for wave 2 here. And of course this can play out across the major level here, which will be 20 here. So I'll just pop that in there because that will be one of our next targets, and of course 18 is also our target as well in that space. So let me just fix this up here for this. That's what the major level looks like. The 18 is the next level there, of course, and this is a medium level here. So we'll just fix that up while we're here as well. And also 15 is a medium level as well here, a little bit tricky. I won't go into it right now, but that's good enough there. And then of course we've got 13 and 10 and so on and so on, but we don't need to put all those in. But just to give you an idea sort of where we are and where supports can play out with this particular market here. So yeah, so the extension's in the third wave here for the blue wave 3, so that means that wave 1 and wave 5 will be roughly the same, so that's looking quite good. And the 38.2% retracement level from wave 2 here up to wherever wave 3 finishes. As I mentioned, we've got probably a couple more days to go, maybe even longer. I'd have to just pull apart these little guys in here, but we've either got 1 and 2 and 3 here. No, we've probably got 1 and 2 here and 3 here. So there's going to be a little wave 4 here and little wave 5 to finish that off, and then we'll get this A, B and C coming back down to the 38.2% retracement level and then making a new high up into this space here. So I think that's where we're traveling to with FMG. That gives us a bit of a roadmap. Now the only spanner in the works, because we could just take these patterns and lay them pretty much straight on the ASX with the same pattern, and we will look at that. The only pattern I've got that is not looking the same is Rio here. So with Rio here, we can look at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Wave 1 and wave 2 is pretty clear, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave and fourth wave here, and then the fifth wave here. So Rio's got a completely different pattern here. Yeah, I mean, I could see a way to squeeze it in, but it still wouldn't work. That wave was basically putting wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then putting wave 3 over here. I mean, we'll consider that. I'll revisit that, but I just don't think it's the case. But anything is possible. But I need to pull this apart and really have a closer look at it in here. But as far as the crow flies, I mean, we're looking at a classic trading levels pattern here, aren't we? We've got the arrival, the reaction, and the first high above the level. So this may be the top, it may not be. There may be a bit more in that. We've got that, certainly got this bar here. Didn't quite close on its low, and it had higher volume in here on that day. So, but we'll have to pull these apart. I think there's just another little move up in here, so I'll check on those. And but still, one way or another, once this is the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, we should see also here, in line with the other markets, we should see some sort of ABC correction here. And then hopefully, well, not hopefully, because we've got 5 waves here, after a correction of a decent size. I mean, but technically this one should pull back deeper here. This one should pull back to the 61.8% here. I mean, if we just take that a little bit, what level's that? That's nothing special. Yeah, we'll just see. I mean, I'll put it up at 110 here, and we'll just leave it at that for the moment. But the 61.8% is 50-60 is back down through here. But being 100, the strong one being strongest number in the market's really going to kind of stick around that a bit here for this. Yeah, and obviously we're going to be sold off at the tops here. So we'll end up with a triple top here, and normally with triple tops, it's normally the 4th time that it goes through. So just always need to be aware of that. But certainly that's ending there. So look, anyway, this is the spanner in the works, this one here, because this has already got 5 waves here. So, you know, I need to consider that. But besides that, we've got 1 and 2 here for FMG and going up for the 3rd wave here now. And this is the same for BHP, going up for the 3rd wave here. And then the New York one, which pretty much follows ours, but it is trading a bit higher here, and I could see that it's probably still got more to go here, because a lot of this here would be 1s and 2s in here, so it's still kind of unwinding those, so we need lots of little 3s and 4s and 5s up here, to 4s and 5s to finish that off up here. So 55, 56 would be a nice target area up there for that. but it still leaves this here quite clearly as 1 and 2 here, and then coming up for the third here. So this really, this should be the pattern that we have in the ASX as well. So with the ASX here, if I can just bring this up on the 4-hour chart here, it's the same thing here in terms of wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, then 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave. We already had this, but I've just taken it back 1 degree to fit it with the other markets, and then wave 4 here, and then going up for wave 5 of 3 here. So we are lagging here, and I'm having a little bit of problems with this, so we'll just spend a little bit of time on this. So the other markets, as I mentioned, if we can just drag the last one across, we're going up for wave 5 here, which is above wave 3 already, and BHP's been leading this up here. So this one here is just on the old high here, but FMG's really been the leader in all of this here. This is like way above its third wave here, and one of the reasons for that, it was the first one to really take off from the low here and create 1 and 2 here, where the other markets, if I can just point this out here, look how long it took it to get its wave 1 and 2 here compared to FMG. If I can just space that out a bit, that was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or something days here, but this is like a lot more here. So FMG led to the upside, and then these guys kind of followed. It took them much longer to create that wave 1 and 2 here for that. So FMG really is the leader to the upside. So we should note that because it could even just top out first here and move back down. So we just need to keep an eye on that. But this one's leading, and then BHP, both BHPs are following. So ASX BHP is kind of following New York BHP here is a little bit higher through here. And then the ASX here is, well, it's not even at its old highs here yet. So it's being dragged down by some of the banks. I mean, CommBank's doing good, but the other ones are dragging their feet a little bit. And how to count this, I'm not quite sure. I mean, that's the low here. I can count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for this. I can also count this down here in 5 waves as well. So it's all a little bit messy for me. And, should this wave 4 here, should this, technically, these guys here, just to breach in here a little bit, these guys here had these lows on here around the June area here from basically the 20th of June, and also the 20, let's just check Australia BHP, so that was a low here, so that was the 22nd of June there. So when we look at that wave 4 pullback finishing on June there, that makes that June the 25th, so that's as close as we're going to get here, because this trades this trades in the off hours, so that's why it's a little bit different. But that's where that wave 4 would be sitting, right? So how we count this up here, I know that it's struggling and it's got sort of, I could count it in many different ways. That's my problem. But one thing that we could pretty much go with at this stage is that the 6,000 here is it is what it is, but it's basically, currently, it's the support. Now, obviously, that could change because it has flipped around a lot here, but the more that it flips around and the more that it does your head in by flipping around there, then eventually it will just sort of take off in whatever direction, and you're left sort of standing, because you've fallen asleep at the wheel, because you've been beaten up so many times coming through here. So the thing is that those resources seem to have a couple of days to the upside. Will this be enough to create a new high for this here? Will it give us a nice 5-wave structure, and so on and so on? I don't really know, and I don't want to sort of give you a confident guess and get you on the wrong track, because I just don't know. All I can say is what I've just shown you then, and that 6,000 is the support. So if you've got long positions, that's where you should be on the long side, above the 6,000, but you would need your stop under the 6,000. And if this market can show some strength and push up here higher and get support on the 1 here, well then we're likely at that point to push up and do a final little push up into this. But I'm still not sure how to count it. I mean, do we count it as put wave 4 over here and look at this as 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just the 5th wave coming up to this point here and just taking out the top there or something, and calling that it as well. But we could be assured that once the mining turns lower, then this is going to turn lower as well here. So I'm just a bit unsure about all of this, and I don't have an answer. So yeah, it is what it is at this stage. So but I think it was a good job just comparing the resources to this market and seeing where we are. And this is part of the puzzle that I don't understand at this stage. Not enough to give direction and confidence, but because it's above the 6,000, we could look to the upside. But if this became the retested resistance here, then this is breaking down in some particular way here. And at worst, we would have to put wave 5 over here, but it just doesn't line up with everything else. But we do have 5 waves here for that, so can't go there yet with that. But if this breaks down, then we'll probably have to do that. Even if this does a quick jab down through here, don't get sucked into it. It'll have to retest that there, and then we can look for short trades at that point. But as far as it goes, we should still be seeing a little bit of movement to the upside in the resources as such. One of the biggest things, just saying that one of the resource things, this was copper, and we've looked at this before. We were looking at it way down here, and I'd pointed out that we had a corrective move in this space here, and we'll be taking out these highs here, and that's still the play. But we're at this level here, which is which is medium level, 65 number. So this will dance across here for a while. So yeah, just keep an eye on that, and perhaps tomorrow we'll look at iron ore as well, which I should have done with this, but I was just more interested in the stocks for that. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in.